Oh my gosh, these pigs are going crazy. Oh, and now they stopped. They just stopped. She's hungry. She wants her food and she wants it right now. You hungry, Bobby? You hungry? Hey, my name is Renee. Welcome to my channel. I'm a real life farmer, and this is where I talk about different stuff that I do on my farm. And today I'm going to be talking about why raise pigs. Why raise these guys? Because they're very impatient. They want their food right now. So this is actually their second feeding of the day. I'm going to go get it right now so they don't have to wait any longer, hopefully. Having the barn over here. But anyways, so they're pretty impatient for food. Most animals are. So it's not just a pig thing. These guys, though, they're kind of small. They're, well, Margaret, the black one here, right there, she is a Kune Kune, and the other two are Kune Kune American Guinea Hog mixes. I'm going to go ahead and give them their food. Hold on, you guys. Whoops. They're very, I try to give them in different piles so that they don't fight over it. This is very hard to film and do their food at the same time. I'm getting a very good shot of my feet. Here, let's do 3 piles, you guys. As with most any animal on the farm, sometimes I find myself wondering, why am I raising these? Like, is this more hassle than it's worth? The cool thing about pigs is they're actually really easy to take care of overall compared to other animals. So that's one of the good reasons. But I'll show you some of the not so good things first, and then I'll show you some of the good things. So here's one of the not so good things. They do wallow and they do like tear up the dirt. So if you're not into that, not so good. In the summer when it's hotter, they do require water in their wallow because that's basically their way of cooling off. Wallowing can be a good thing though, if you just basically use the pig's natural instincts to your advantage. So I'm standing on my hillside here. It used to be completely covered in Himalayan blackberries. They are not like typical blackberries. They're actually invasive. This is them behind me. The sun's in my eyes. I'm so sorry. But they're in their winter whatever, so they don't have leaves, but they definitely have leaves in the summer, and they get taller than me and they take over. So this whole hillside behind me, if you can see, used to be covered in that. It was dense. I couldn't get through. And I took the brush cutter over it and cleared quite a bit. I put the pigs on the hillside and they will dig up root balls. Here's a small example of a root ball, but they get much, much, much bigger because they have the natural rooting instinct. So they're digging up the root balls and eating the roots off of it. So you can definitely use wallowing to your advantage if you need an area to clear. Some people might say, why not just get goats then? I get told that a lot. But the thing is, while goats will eat the leaves off of the canes, they're not going to root up the root balls. So you can weaken the plant by eating all the leaves off of it, or you can dig up the root ball. I say, get whichever animal that you want to look at and take care of. There's pros and cons to both. People talk about goats being like escape artists. Pigs can be too. I'll show you my fencing and housing that I have for them here in just a second. But my pigs are not really too bad at being escape artists. I think it kind of probably like changes depending on maybe the breed. This is the only breed of pig I have had, so I don't have experience with others, and I haven't owned goats either, but I just know they're notorious for getting out and like climbing on things. The pigs aren't going to climb on stuff. They're going to root under a fence. And so, yes, you are. So electric wire is pretty helpful with that. But yeah, goats, you can eat them. They can supply milk. Pigs, you can eat them as well. I'm not a huge pork eater, so that's not really my plan for these guys. I just have them just because I kind of inherited them and because they help keep the area clear. They also go under trees and clear out brush, and it's just really helpful. Their natural environment is in the forest, so it's just kind of second nature to them, and they won't root quite as severely the bigger area they have and the more area they have to look for stuff. And some breeds root more than others. This type of breed doesn't root as much because they're more grazers, but they do need to be supplemented with a grain that has protein in it. They can't just live on grazing alone. Another thing you kind of have to like watch out for is that they'll root up fruit trees. So I have these bricks placed around the base of it so they won't root up the tree. So right now my fencing is pretty simple for them. You can see like the single line of electric fence behind me. So that's all I'm really using to keep them in. I haven't had a problem with these guys getting out too much. If they get out, they just look for me and they want to hang out. So they're pretty tame. They're pretty easygoing and not really a problem. I am probably going to be doing a different type of fence eventually, but I am going to run the electric along the base of it because they will root under the fence and push it up and get out. I mean, I don't know if these will, but pigs have been known to do that. So the thing I like about pigs is, especially these pigs, because like I said, they're pretty easygoing, is they're really easy care. Kind of jerks to each other, but I guess that's just pig social hierarchy or something. Anyway, hey! Anyway, when I feed them, I usually carry a cattle prod with me so they don't knock me down because they have, and I'm not a very big person and they're really big and strong. Like Bobby here, she's probably like 300 pounds. So it's good to be safe. But overall, they're very sweet, especially this one. Margaret's very sweet. And they don't really want to hurt anybody. They just don't think about it. And they are just thinking, oh, I want to eat. I want food. So get out of my way. Anything blocking me from getting food. But yeah, I feed them twice a day because it's better for digestion. In the morning, I give them their grain that has their proteins, their vitamin and minerals in it. And then in the afternoon, I give them some alfalfa pellets, just sort of a low calorie type snack. But trying to keep them not fat is really hard because they are a lard breed and they naturally want to get fat. And if they're fat, obviously it's not healthy for them. And if I was going to butcher them, it wouldn't be good because it would just make the meat all fatty. And it's better if the pork is more lean. But yeah, just feeding them twice a day. And I do have like a little shelter. I'll show that in a second. But the fence to keep them in, I've trained them for that. They don't like the electric shock. That's why the cattle prod is pretty effective as well. This is their shelter. It's just big enough for the three of them to get in there. It does have a gate on it that can close. So they will use the shelter during the winter months, like at night to sleep in. A lot of times during the summer, they'll just sleep out wherever. I'm not too concerned about locking them up because one major pro about owning pigs is like they're an omnivore and they're big and they're kind of scary. So nothing really bothers them. I haven't really had any predator issues with them. So that's a plus. I mean, I'm sure like a pack of coyotes or something could cause some problems, but I haven't had any issues. So I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, absolute number one reason. Look at these blackberry canes and how dense they are over here still. And this has been cleared back too to make their pen, but look at all they have done on the hillside. It's just ridiculous. There's like a little tiny patch right there in the middle that needs some help, but they've been busy over here. So the last thing I'm going to do for my video today is I am going to take this pumpkin and give it to the pigs and let them eat it. So that's one of the other really cool things I like about the pigs is getting out of breath carrying this thing is they will eat scraps out of the garden. Pretty much anything that humans can eat, pigs can eat too. So that's pretty helpful. And so if there's any excess that like the ducks don't want, pigs will probably eat it. They can have like potatoes, but they have to be cooked. So there's like a few little things like that. But overall, squash is good. Nightshades in moderation. They didn't really like bell peppers. Tried that with them. But they love squash, including this pumpkin. So, oh, they're so excited. I'll show them. Hang on, you guys. Hang on, back up. Here, let me set it down. Hold on. Oh. So just to recap, why raise pigs? Well, lots of reasons. You can use their rooting to your advantage if you're trying to clear a hillside or keep places under trees cleared. If you do that and you don't want them to root up your tree, make sure you block off the root area so they don't root up the trees. They will eat your garden scraps. They're pretty much easy care. They're fun. They're very personable. They are like big weird dogs. I really enjoy them. And obviously also you can raise them to eat. So there's and you can sell the meat too. I mean, there's endless reasons. It just is whatever you're looking for in a farm animal. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Once again, I'm Renee, and I hope you subscribe if you want to see some more videos. I'm gonna be doing hopefully a bunch this spring. They're fighting over the pumpkin. All right, I'll see you later.